Thank you so much. So I'm saying welcome to this session. We're looking at AI in literature review and research work and publication. And in the previous sections, we looked at which tools are used in brainstorming, then which tools are used in writing, and which tools are used in plagiarism checking, indexing checking, and all the research work the way it is. As I say that research has really evolved in various continents. Um, we still have a challenge in Africa where we have so many candidates or researchers or students in the research field assigned to very few uh, research evaluators. Why do I say this? You might find that there is one supervisor at the University of Nairobi looking at a PhD student and master's student research in Maseno, in University of Nairobi, almost all the campuses, at JKUAT. He is still looking at the same work at somebody who is in KU. He is still looking for another research of somebody who is in Karatina University. So you find that this person is overwhelmed. Number two, when you look at their age, they are really exhausted. The methodology that was used in the old era when they did their study, let's say maybe 1970s, is what they still want to use in the current state. Things have evolved. That's why when it comes to the literature review nowadays, we are saying, what is the literature references that you have used? Because somebody goes for a literature reference that is older than 20 years and he still wants that evaluation of that or the review of that paper to be used in today's era, it might not work. The fundamentals, the methodologies, the structure, the application, the recommendations that were done in the past cannot still be used today. It has evolved. It has gone through a lot of review, and so many other papers have been written related to that. Therefore, what is the recommended? So, in most of the researches, we say in your references, at least use the recent reviews or references. That is at least 10 years old. So, we can say from 2000 to date. Because if you say that from 2000 to date, that is 26 years. That means that the best reviews that can now go in hand with your research is from 2016 to 2026 now. But when we rely much in the old systems and so on, it still has to drain us. You might find that you have done your research very well, you've written, and it has met the standard of your supervisor and the panel, but it is completely irrelevant to the current affairs and the solutions that we need it to provide. So the AI models have the ability to access all those documents, all those papers, all those publications, all those journals, and then be able to summarize and make them only choose for you or pick for you the most relevant one that are completely in line with your paper or the field of research. Now, let's get to look at what are these tools that we are talking about, because we have used some of them, we have spoken about some of them, but then let's look at them. What are they? So we can look at this, the tools for effective literature review. Whether you are doing your bachelor's, your master's, your PhD research, your publications or your journal writing or your article writings, all these are very, very important. So, what are these major tools that we need to know? So, literature review is very critical in the field of research because it helps you to identify existing researches that are related to what you are doing. They help you to understand your field of research. They help you to understand what methodologies to apply. They help you to identify which methods of data collection are you supposed to apply, what methods of review of other existing literatures exist. They help you to understand what are other suggested solutions that are related to support your research work. So that by the time you start writing and building your paper, you already understand what is the gap. You already understand what methodologies to apply. You already understand what other existing solutions existed long time ago or are existing and you are supposed to improve, so that you don't just have a hallucinated mindset to say that what you are building is completely unique. No other person has made it. Innovations were done long time ago. You're just doing improvements to the existing innovations. Therefore, we are going to explore the tools for assessment, finding papers, and writing. And let's look at the purpose here is to provide you with the feedback on academic papers and to be able to know which and what. So you need also to be able to upload your draft, receive your feedback, revise accordingly as per what is needed. So for you to find and analyze papers, there is a tool called Litmaps. Litmaps. This is an AI tool that has been used for long, but people never knew that it's an AI tool. People were just using it to find and analyze papers. Litmaps is very, very important tool because it helps you to visualize citations networks. Litmaps also helps you to enter the topic, explore the citation maps, and track the research trends so that you can be able to get what is the relationships, what are the citation maps that existed within that paper, how relevant was the paper, how many people did it cover, what are the trends within that paper, how many reviews have been done to do that paper. Litmaps, it's a very powerful tool. As we move to the next paper is SciSpace. SciSpace. This one I used it with you. You saw it. How to collect papers, how to attach them, and how to collect them there. How to check the papers, how to find only relevant topic papers that are related to what you are looking for. And then creating your library so that when you are doing your review, the review is completely relevant to the paper that you have looked at and you have seen is in line with your interest or the in line with the topic of study that you are handling. So the purpose of this tool, mostly, it helps you to summarize large papers, large articles into a simplified form that you needed to use it and find only relevant aspects that you need. For instance, maybe you are just looking for the methodology gap or the methodologies used or the objectives, definitions, and how to connect them, or you are just looking for the findings, how they were obtained. So all that can be done within the SciSpace tool. Then we have search research topics because you need to have the topic. If you don't have the complete topic, then you can use the keywords from the topic so that you apply the logics that you can be able to use within the Google Scholar, like the and, or exclusive, nor, and so on. So those ones. Get the summaries. They help you to organize these papers into what you need because you have what is called library section. So you can create your own library of the cited documents that you want to use, of the papers that you have gone through and you have seen that they are completely in line with the paper that you are writing. All that can be done in that space. The third tool that you need to master is what is called R discovery. R discovery. R discovery. It's also used in finding and analyzing papers. So mostly it is an AI curated paper recommendations. It can be able to provide you other related articles in line with the paper that you have searched for. So it helps you to set up the interests. It helps you to receive the recommendations, and it helps you to synchronize your references so that they go handy with what you are studying. R discovery. The other top tool that we have talked about in literature review is the Google Scholar. And we've seen beautifully how the tool is used. So this is a free academic search engine. You don't have to pay a dime. You only need to master how to use it. And mastering how to use Google Scholar is identifying the key elements in your topic of study. That research title, you need to analyze the key components as I demonstrated in the first section. You're talking about the effects of Ebola in the African economy. Case study of DRC Congo. Keywords here are effects. Ebola, African economy, DRC Congo. Those are keywords. The rest are just connectors. Once you search those keywords, they can be able to find you all relevant papers that relates to Ebola and to be specific in the Congo region. If you want to expand it, then you can say in Africa, so that you work with it the entire continental scope. But remember, there are things that you need to consider when handling research. Deal with a scope that you have a better knowledge of and you can easily do your field work. You don't have to look for a cumbersome case study area that you have no clue, that will welcome so many questions that will embarrass you in your defense, simply because you have not exhaustively read all relevant articles and publications related to that area. That's why the scope needs always to be defined within our research. It helps you to search, it helps you to filter, it helps you to track the citations, and it helps to find related work in that particular area. Now, let's look at now writing and managing references. We have finished with finding and analyzing papers. Now, when it comes now to writing and managing references, you have one of the beautiful and most important tool, AI tool called PaperPal. PaperPal. So PaperPal is very important because it enhances your writing. It serves as your writing assistant. Then from there, you can easily do the modifications, the paraphrasing, and rewriting it in the proper manner that now suits your research interest and the supervisor's thoughts. Now, this paper, PAL, is also used to analyze our texts for clarity. Then sometimes you are being told that your research language, the language used in your writing, is not in line with what we need. Then it can help you to improve the language. Or your sentences are not well structured. So the paper pal will help you to refine the writings so that your sentences are well structured as per the panel requirement and as per the research paper and as per the type of research. So you don't need to struggle more to try to write the way you want and then sit there correcting the sentences, the paraphrasing, the arrangement of words, everything with your supervisor. He doesn't have that time. So you can use the paper pad as your guide and then you use it and you work with it. The other tool is what is called the research pal. Research pal. Research pal. I want you to look at it very well. The research pal. So it's an AI tool that is used for summarizing and organizing your research materials. You only need to enter the topic that you want, generate the summaries, and then categorize the insights. So Research Pal is an AI powered research assistant, and it was designed to support the students, the researchers, the lecturers, and the professionals throughout the research process. Why? Because it combines the literature discovery, academic writing, citation management, and paper analysis in a single platform. So, for that case, then you will need to look at that, because these tools I've given you, you just need to be just taking it and then going to, for instance, I can use this one here, and then you can be able to see how the tool operates. For instance, you want to do a research paper with that.
Wait, how old is the new hire?
I don't know, but he literally uses Excel.
You must be the new
research, search research ball from the Google and create a new project on which you want to do the studies. After that, open the search paper option of research ball. Here you have two options, either you can do semantic search or research ball search. We are going for semantic search first and will feed the tool about our query. You will find a list of research paper from a semantic scholar where you can access the abstract and details of the research paper along with all the references and citations that have been integrated in that specific research paper. You can visit the source file just by clicking the source and can see the full research paper by just clicking on the source. You can save this research paper and can see it in library by selecting abstract saved. In Research Pal search feature, you have to select your field of study and have to feed the tool about your query. You get all the research paper from all the sources which are available on web, and you can again access the abstract of the research paper while staying on the same interface and can visit the full research paper by clicking DIO. You can save these research paper and can also found them in library in an abstract saved section and can use for your further studies.
Now, that is how you can be able to use your research part. So, what do you do within the research part? You just search for research part, and then once you have searched for research part, you will need to log in and have and get into the access to that section. So once you are there, then you can easily now start to let me search for you here. Let's use for example this research pal.co. So once you are here, you need to either you can say just get started, and then you will need to log in. You can just use your Gmail, your Google, or Yahoo if you are logged in there, and then you can access the platform, or you can create your email and put your password, and then you can create the account. So once you're done, then you'll be able to get inside the area. Now, for instance, that now you are going to look for, maybe you are looking for some literature review of certain documents or something. So write your research question here. So maybe you want to get the deep research or you want to do the fast literature. And then maybe you want to search using the web or you want to use the library, because you might have your library here and then you want this to help you review that and analyze that. So you can begin with what you feel like is very, very, very important for you. You see, it uses the OpenAI uh, model or agent 40, which is mini. And this is what also the Gemini uses in its scope. So you can write here something that you want. Insert the elements like headings or whatever that you want to look for. And all that is very, very important in this in this section. So maybe you want maybe to search for a paper. You see down here, you can do what is called search for a paper or paper insights. You want to do maybe the paper insights. So in case you want to search for a paper, then write your research query here. Maybe machine learning application in healthcare. Let's say maybe effects of Ebola to the Africa or in the Africa's economy. Case study of Democratic Republic of Congo. Like that. So this is your, let's say, the African economy case study of that, for instance, that way. So do you want to open access or you want to filter it? See the guide. So we are going to search for this. Let's say these are your. So these are the papers that are related to what you are looking for, because that is your research paper title. So you wanted to look for papers that are also talking about Ebola and its effects to the economy. So these are the relevant papers that are there, because assume that you are writing this kind of a research. Will you go to the library looking for the books that have been published that are only talking about Ebola effects to the economy? What you will get is just about the factors that are affecting the economy in Africa. And you might find maybe 2 books only talking about Ebola. Now you are doing a literature review or you are writing a PhD paper. How would you be having a reference of only 2 books? It's completely insane. It's completely not practicable. So this has the ability to look for you all the relevant papers that are related to Ebola, and you can continue loading them, and they are there. All these are books. So for instance here, the first book that we have here is the Ebola outbreaks in Democratic Republic of Congo. So this is the first paper. So you open it like that. You get to get the summary here that the North Kivu outbreak is characterized by multiple issues that hampered disease control measures, including sociopolitical barriers aimed at those several issues. I think I can get some. Someone with some noise. I can mute a little bit. So, as we were talking, I was demonstrating for you how to use the research part. Yes. Now, within this, you have the summary here, and then you have the complete abstract here, how that abstract has been written. And then, how many references have been done on that paper? How many citations have been done on that paper? Which year was it? Is it? Then, what is the source of this paper? Can you view the publisher? You can view the publisher. So the publisher is the Global Biosecurity. So if you have articles and you also want to publish them, you can publish them here with this paper. But then from here, you can be able to see what is the DOI, and then what is the citation. So the citation is here. Just copy this and put into your paper. If you have cited something here and you want to put this as the references, so you just take this and then put the reference. You don't have to struggle saying, oh, you don't have the citations, you don't have, it's difficult for me to find the citations. If you want to change it to Chicago or Harvard, you click there. Then it will change it here. And then you will have the citations. And then you copy it the way you want it to be. If you want the APA format, it is there. It will give you. Then you will copy it and then put it to where you want it to be. But you need to create the libraries so that when you start doing the literature review, you have a point where you are referring to as you are writing. Sorry, had I logged out?
Yes, you went out.
Sorry for that. I think network issues sometimes they fluctuate. So we were talking about how to use the research paper, because sometimes you have a KPI given to you. Let me try to check one of the API that the KPI used by someone that someone was asked to use. I don't know. Let me try to check around and get the KPI so that I can try to show you. Sometimes you're being given a KPI to use, and then you have difficulties to find what is needed. Can still just check from my end here. I don't know if I have such documents. Let me check on documents if I have that KPI. Don't know if I used it here, but it's a KPI that I would wish to refer to you. Let me search here for yeah. Let me try to see if this is available here. To have a better look. Assume that this is the KPI issued to you in the PhD level, because sometimes we give you very long KPIs. For this KPI, and we ask you or we task you to do this work for the next 3 months. One is we tell you that research or find minimum 100 but maximum 250 articles in your field of study. That is your topic of study. And let them handle the following cases. So in that, then we tell you that in your research work, can you identify the name of the authors, the year of publication, the country of study, the study objective and aim, the design of the study applied, the sample size that was conducted or that was observed during that study, the sampling criteria and methodology that was applied, the type of the care or the type of measure that was applied to solve that problem or that was used in categorizing the study structure. The stage, like now, this one now was about the cancer pain self-management with fee. That was the topic, cancer pain self-management. The stage of cancer, that was there. The self-management interventions, you see, because now this one now are key factors or elements that are looked at during the analysis of your study, because they are key factors that are playing a better role in cancer issues. Then measurements of the outcomes. How were they measured? What were the instruments used to collect the data? What was the analysis conducted? Which analysis was done? What were the findings? And what were any relevant comments that were there? Because these ones you have to find them from the conclusions and discussions area of that study. So in case that now this is the KPI that I want you to fill, how do you do that? And you need to review around 250 articles. Now, will you go to the library looking for 250 books? Will you get them that are related to this? Definitely you will not get these books. You will manage to get 5 or 4 only. But we need 250. What do you do? These are the tools to use to find those papers. For instance, here, I say that we are looking for effects of Ebola in the African economy, case study of DRC Congo. And when we searched, we have found how many articles here? There are several, there are many. We have the study that talks about Ebola outbreaks in Democratic Republic of Congo, 2017-2019. That was done by P. Nguyen. So if you want to find more information about this, so that you can fill my KPI here that I assigned to you as my student, then you need to open that paper. Hello, I'll communicate to you. I'm in a train. So, yes, I'm busy. I'm a little bit busy right now. I'll talk to you. Kindly. Hello. So, that is the key thing that we are talking about here. Now, it is you to know how to find this. Like now, you see, if you are looking at this paper because you have access to it now, you can read the abstract, then find all those things, the outcome that was there, and so on. What were the measures, things that were applied, and if you want to read the whole paper, you can click fill PDF, full PDF, or you can click view publisher, so that you can come here and find the paper here. Then you can either open the HTML or you can open the PDF of this document. And then you can read the entire of the book. This is the book here. You can download it, can put it where, but this is the document, the article, the entire of this, so that you can read, find that what you are looking for. So without struggling, but you cannot come here to Google that you are looking for citations or journal books related to this. It will not come. You will struggle until, or you can click source and then it will take you directly to semanticscholar.org papers where it was published, and from here you can see the paper here and other related papers so that they can help you there. Then you can click view the publisher. Once you are here, you can click the DOI and get it, and you can as well as click the document here and read it. So either you can read this or you can decide to read the PDF file, and you can take your time there to read, or you can even click here download and then you'll have the document. We have another thing. Maybe now you wanted that, and now if you want to use this document that within your reference section, just click save. So once you click save, it will be added here in your library. So you can just come here to saved abstracts, and then it can be able to list itself there. So that's what you can be able to do. So just what you do here, and you can see here, because there's an error here, it says saved says is PDF. So that's what is there. So you can have here the citations: renal and liver injury following the treatment of COVID-19 by this. So this is the person who did the references on that paper. What about those other papers? We have another paper here says political economy of decentralization in Democratic Republic of Congo. And then you're talking about political and governance and Democratic Republic of Congo. So you can just say maybe that now you just need to get effects of Ebola in the African economy and then search. So it's going to look at that, find all the papers in that topic, and then identify for you. There you go. So you have Ebola and West African economy. You have political economy of Ebola virus disease in West African countries. You have international political economy and 2014 West African Ebola outbreak. You have the African tragedy of Ebola. You have Ebola fever, the African emergency. You have the take in on the political economy of Ebola. You have the African bat conservation in the time of Ebola. Marginal employment growth effects in the South African economy. Employment effect greening to the South African economy. African sites and Ebola. So you can get just those ones that are related to Ebola. The abstract is here. Who did the publication? The paper is here. Where the publication was done. So this is the paper. So it's a book. So you can see that. Pages 15. This is the abstract of the book. You can go to chapter by chapter and read the book. So you can see that. Or you can even click the book and then be able to download the book if you want. You can preview the book here in PDF, or you can cite it. So here is the book, and so on. So you can get that and then add it in your library and continue. You can even get the link and then attach it inside your Zotero and so on. So that is how you use this tool here. So if you want to download the document and save them, you can save them here and access them there, export them, you can do them. The literature review now here, then you can say using your first literature here, you want deep research and you are not looking for web because you have already collected all the documents here and they are available in the library. So you can just click library and then select the files. Here you can select the files that you have saved here. You will see them are populating here. So you can select all of them. Then you can write here, summarize maybe the methods, the literature review, the scope, the outcome, and everything that was obtained from these papers. Then you can generate the literature review for that. And then it can be able to do for you that. Analyze all those papers and write it for you in a proper way. Then you can now export it somewhere and then now use that now to modify, paraphrase it, make it into a very proper way that aligns with your research work. And then the citations are already there. You just get them and then put them in the references. And then you move on. So that's how you use the tool. We've also talked about PaperPad AI for reviews. So here is the tool. So you just have just to search for the tool and then be able to use it. You also need just to log in and then start using the tool. You can do a lot with it. You can write it, you can rewrite it, you can do the literature reviews of all that thing. So you can do AI writing, research citation, chart PDF, plagiarism checking, and rewriting within the same tool. So all these tools that we are talking about are very, very important. Back to our section here. So all these tools, you just need to search for them, start using. Grammarly. We use Grammarly mostly to correct our sentences and texts. So they ensure that your sentences are well written, are well formatted. So you need to choose the correct English language to use because mostly you might find it is in the US language. So you need to change the language into the British if your research is mostly done in British language. So you just need to change the language to British so that all the corrections it makes for you are in the British format, the UK English. So the real-time error checking, style suggestions, clarity, and it also does for you the improvements. Then we have this tool called Zotero, which we talked about it. We said it's an open source. We added it, and you saw how it was working. Now, mainly, we also did the installation and we looked at that, how you can be able to import PDF formats, collaborate with researchers, and so on. So those are the key tools used there. So these tools enhances the efficiency in your literature reviews. They also do the improvement of your research quality and academic writing, and so on. So they are very, very important. I wanted us to end at 9:45, and therefore it has managed for me to reach there. Then the next session, we shall now look at other concepts within that space before I end with that module. So today I want us to end with a Bible lesson that says, as I end today's training, let's give the Bible verse here. That is, let the wise hear and increase in learning, and the one who understands obtain guidance. You know the tool. You are different from those who don't know anything, who are still struggling with the old way, old methods, and they don't move on with their research. You will end up taking 10 years, taking 15 years that you are doing your master's or your PhD, which should not be the case. Okay? Simply because you don't know what you are doing. I said in the book of Proverbs. Because the network has gone, you'll allow me just complete since I'm doing the recording, and then you'll be able to end. Then this verse emphasizes and teaches us the importance of continuous learning and seeking wisdom. There is no end. And then, in the context of using AI for research and teaching, my advice is it serves as a reminder that technology should be embraced not just to gain knowledge, but also to seek understanding and guidance. Therefore, use it responsibly. AI tools can be powerful instruments to enhance your human capabilities, but the ultimate goal should be thoughtful growth and ethical decision making in our pursuit of knowledge and growth. I end there, and I welcome any question, any queries, any concerns in the next session. My urge to you all is that take a tool by a tool, study it, learn it, embrace it, know how to use it. And that is the key thing in this. Thank you so much, and may God bless you. See you tomorrow in the next session.